2025, the NBA, where it ended with the Thunder beating the Pacers. But what can we expect in 2026 for the Sacramento Kings? That was my exercise there at the last part of thinking about where we went from 2024 to 2025. The changes. You had a coaching change. You had a GM change. Only 6 players that are still on the roster from the end of 2024. Things go fast. So what will it look like at this time at the end of 2026? I think as we try to project the rest of this season, and certainly next season, it's far away, but it'll get here quickly in October, I guess. But I want the Sacramento Kings to continue to identify pieces that they feel are the pieces they're going to go forward with. And I think as we all have now heard about trade rumors, whether it's, Malik and Levine are the latest that you're hearing. Again, what's legit, what's not. But I believe there is a market for Malik Monk out there. I believe there is a market for DeMar DeRozan out there. I would almost be certain if the Kings really pursue those 2 players, I'll say it, I would be shocked if either Malik Monk or DeMar DeRozan are Sacramento Kings on December 30th of 2026. Be shocked. I'm sure there is a intrigue in trying to move Zach LaVine, in trying to potentially look and see if there are any suitors for Domantas Sabonis. That's just my belief. I don't know that they're I think where this team is, nobody should be considered off the limits. I've said it. I'll continue to say it. I think while you're doing this, whatever we officially want to call it, a rebuild, a revamping of the roster, it doesn't even necessarily need a name. But for what they want to be, and I'm going to listen to the people that have said things publicly, like Doug Christie, like Scott Perry, they want to build a consistent, sustainable winner. Well, on this date, right now, they're not. That's okay to be there, but are you working in your steps towards getting there? And I think the steps to getting there are moving off of some of the players that they have. So I think they, like we've been saying, going through this 8-24 that they're in right now, you are fact-finding, you are learning, you are deciding on, okay, we're giving some more minutes and some more reps to some of these players. What does that look like? As a team that's an older team in the NBA that's not winning, it probably is in their best interest to get younger. So how do you accomplish that? Well, DeRozan is one of their older players. Levine, Sabonis, Monk. Again, the guys Westbrook, Schroeder. These guys are all older players. You don't have to move all of them, but you probably should move some of them for the age part of it and the contract part of it. Then you're also trying to get better. You're trying to make these moves to make your current roster better and your future roster better. So as we kind of lay that out as the landscape, I think this team is going to look dramatically different at this time in 2026 when we're wrapping up 26, ushering in 2027. If we mentioned that there's 6 players left right now from a year ago, how many of the current players that are here on this team today, and if we go on their active roster, Achua, who they added, Dylan Cardwell, Devin Carter, Nate Clifford, DeMar DeRozan, Keon Ellis, Drew Eubanks, Zach LaVine, Doug McDermott, Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, Daquan Plowden, Maxime Reynaud, Domantas Sabonis, Dario Saric, Dennis Schroeder, Isaiah Stevens, Russell Westbrook. How many of those guys will still be here at the end of 2026? Like I said, I don't think there's anybody that's untouchable. I think this Kings team, in every move they make going forward, again, trying to address that contract, youth, draft pick surge of what I think they want to do and have assets to either strike later on a proven player or find that player that develops into, hey, they got this young piece that they know they can build around. I think they would like Keegan Murray to be involved in that. I have no issue with that. I think Keegan's developing into a good player and is going to have to continue to develop. Is Keon a part of that mix? Is Devin Carter a part of that mix? Is Nate Clifford, Dylan Cardwell? Cardwell so far and Maxime Reynaud are looking like guys that you either added after the draft or, in Reynaud's case, picked in the second round, that you're developing, that you're seeing growth, that you want to see what he could ultimately turn into. And so they've got little mini success stories, but far more questions that are out there. And as we get to January and certainly February with the trade deadline, I expect this team to be active. I expect this team to be in that pursuit of changing the look of this roster for either the next great young player, future draft assets, financial freedom to help in all those other kind of goals. And if we look at Scott Perry's track record with New York, he revamped that roster in a couple years. They've added to it. He's since been gone. They've changed coaches. They've done different things, but they've got themselves a very good basketball team. They did it in a different way. I don't know how the Kings are going to exactly do it, but I think that's going to be the goal of the year, is to get to those pillars that Scott Perry talks about, the identity that Doug Christie wants, and tweak the roster and the lineup to get there. And I don't know that it's happening in one calendar year, but the process will be happening. They'll be going through it. We're going to see some changes with this Sacramento Kings team. When we come back, the 8 o'clock hour is here. We're going to visit with Sam Amick from The Athletic. We look forward to that next.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SactownSports.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager,